Welcome to Celestial Zodiac. Libra, this is your August 2026 horoscope. August is a month of connection, opportunity, and deciding which people and which goals truly belong in your future. While you're naturally skilled at building relationships and finding common ground, this month asks you to become more selective about where you invest your time and energy. Not every invitation needs a yes, and not every connection deserves equal access to you. The month begins under the confident, social energy of Leo season, highlighting friendships, professional networks, community, collaboration, and your long-term hopes for the future. You may find yourself meeting new people, reconnecting with old contacts, or becoming more involved with a group or community. Some of these connections could become surprisingly important, particularly when it comes to your career or future plans. This is also an excellent time to think beyond your immediate circumstances. Where do you want to be 6 months or a year from now? What kind of people could help you get there? And just as importantly, who genuinely supports the person you're becoming? Venus, your ruling planet, makes relationships, attraction, values, and personal priorities especially important throughout August. You may become more aware of whether your relationships feel balanced and reciprocal, or whether you've been compromising too much simply to maintain harmony. Libra is known as the sign of partnership, but August reminds you that peace isn't really peace if you're constantly sacrificing yourself to create it. Mercury adds another layer to the month by emphasizing conversations, planning, and information. An introduction, message, meeting, or seemingly casual conversation could lead somewhere unexpected. Pay attention to what people are telling you, and to the opportunities hidden inside ordinary interactions. The full moon may bring greater attention to creativity, romance, pleasure, or something personally meaningful that you've been neglecting. You could experience clarity about a romantic connection, rediscover a passion you've put aside, or simply realize that your life needs more room for enjoyment alongside responsibility. Then, as the sun moves into Virgo later in August, the energy becomes quieter and more introspective. After a busy social beginning to the month, you may feel a stronger desire to step back, recharge, and process everything that's happened. This is your preparation period before Libra season arrives in September. The overall lesson for August is intentional connection. Your ability to build relationships is one of your greatest strengths, Libra, but this month isn't about knowing more people. It's about recognizing which relationships, collaborations, and opportunities genuinely support the future you're trying to create. August begins by asking, who belongs in my future? And ends by asking, what do I need to release before my next chapter begins? Let's explore what this means for your career, finances, relationships, emotional well-being, personal growth, and the best times to make your biggest moves. Libra, August could remind you that professional success isn't always about what you know. Sometimes it's also about who knows what you can do. With Leo season energizing your networks, friendships, groups, and long-term goals, connections can play an unusually important role in your career this month. The first half of August is especially favorable for networking. A former coworker, friend, professional contact, or even someone you meet casually could introduce you to an opportunity you wouldn't have discovered on your own. If you're searching for work, don't rely entirely on job postings. Let people know what you're looking for. One conversation could lead to an introduction, recommendation, interview, client, or collaboration. If you're currently employed, this is an excellent time to become more visible within your organization. Participate in meetings, volunteer for projects that showcase your strengths, and build relationships outside your immediate department. Libra's natural diplomacy can help you navigate different personalities and bring people together, an ability that's often more professionally valuable than you realize. Collaboration is strongly emphasized, but choose your partners carefully. Not everyone who wants to work with you will contribute equally. Before committing to a project or business arrangement, Make sure expectations, responsibilities, compensation, and deadlines are clear. Your desire to maintain harmony can sometimes make you reluctant to have uncomfortable conversations, but addressing details early can prevent resentment later. For self-employed Libras, freelancers, creators, or business owners, your network may become one of your greatest assets. Referrals, collaborations, social media, community involvement, and word-of-mouth recommendations can bring new clients or customers. Instead of trying to do everything alone, consider where strategic partnerships could expand your reach. August also encourages you to think beyond your current position and consider your longer-term professional goals. Where do you actually want your career to be a year from now? If your current path isn't moving you in that direction, this is an excellent month to start developing an alternative. Financially, pay attention to the connection between your income and your relationships. This could involve business partnerships, shared projects, referrals, commissions, or opportunities that arrive through someone you know. However, avoid allowing friendship and money to become unnecessarily complicated. If money is involved, clear agreements are important, even when you trust the other person. Be careful about spending socially as well. Leo season can bring invitations, entertainment, travel, dining, and the temptation to keep up with other people's lifestyles. You don't have to say yes to every event or spend money simply because everyone else is doing it. Your long-term financial goals deserve a place in the conversation too. If you've been undervaluing your work, August may also encourage you to reconsider what your time and skills are worth. Libra can sometimes compromise too quickly when negotiating because you want everyone to walk away happy. But fairness includes you. Whether you're discussing salary, rates, responsibilities, or compensation, don't negotiate against yourself before the conversation even begins. As Virgo season arrives later in August, your professional energy becomes quieter. This is a good time to step back and evaluate what's working. Finish projects, organize paperwork, review your finances, eliminate unnecessary expenses, and prepare for the stronger personal momentum that arrives when Libra season begins in September. You may also discover that something you've been pursuing professionally isn't worth the energy anymore. Letting go of an outdated goal isn't failure. Sometimes it simply means you've become clearer about what you actually want. By the end of August, many Libras will have a better understanding of which professional connections are worth developing and which opportunities genuinely support their future. Your greatest advantage this month is your ability to connect people, build relationships, and create cooperation. Just remember, network strategically, collaborate wisely, and never confuse keeping the peace with selling yourself short. Libra, relationships take center stage in your emotional world this August. As the sign of partnership, you naturally thrive through connection, companionship, and shared experiences. But this month asks you to look beyond whether you have people around you and consider something deeper. Are your relationships truly balanced? The first half of August is highly social. Friendships, group activities, professional connections, and new introductions can bring fresh energy into your life. You may reconnect with someone you've missed, strengthen an existing friendship, or meet people who quickly feel like they belong in your world. For those in a relationship, August encourages you to pay attention to reciprocity. Are both of you making an effort? Are your needs receiving as much consideration as your partner's? Libra can sometimes compromise so quickly that you don't realize how much you've given up until resentment begins to appear. Keeping the peace is valuable, but avoiding an important conversation isn't the same thing as creating harmony. If something has been bothering you, August favors honest but thoughtful communication. You don't need to create conflict. You simply need to make sure your voice is included in the relationship. If you're single, your social environment could become particularly important. New romantic possibilities may emerge through friends, professional networks, community activities, online connections, or shared interests. Someone who initially enters your life as a friend or casual acquaintance could gradually become more significant. But don't confuse chemistry with compatibility. Attention can feel exciting, particularly when someone is charming or charismatic, but take time to notice whether their actions match their words. The right relationship shouldn't leave you constantly trying to determine where you stand. The full moon may bring greater clarity around romance, dating, creativity, or personal happiness. A connection could deepen, change direction, or reveal something you've needed to understand. For some Libras, this may simply be the moment you recognize what you truly want from your romantic life. Friendships may undergo a similar evaluation. August encourages you to notice which people genuinely celebrate your success and which ones seem comfortable only when you're struggling alongside them. Your social circle should support your growth, not quietly compete with it. Mentally, be careful about spending too much energy trying to understand everyone's perspective while ignoring your own. Your ability to see both sides is one of your greatest strengths, but it can also make decisions exhausting. Sometimes there isn't a perfect choice that keeps everybody happy, and sometimes, Libra, you're allowed to choose yourself. As Virgo season begins later in the month, you may become more private and reflective. After several socially active weeks, give yourself permission to step away from the noise. Solitude can help you process emotions, recognize relationship patterns, and understand what you want before Libra season begins. By the end of August, many Libras will have greater clarity about who genuinely belongs in their lives. The strongest relationships won't require you to constantly sacrifice your needs to maintain them. Real harmony happens when both people have a voice, both people make an effort, and both people feel valued. Libra, August encourages you to become more intentional about the people, goals, and experiences you allow into your life. You're naturally skilled at adapting to others, but personal growth this month comes from asking what you actually want before considering everyone else's expectations. One of your biggest lessons is realizing that choosing yourself doesn't automatically mean disappointing someone else. You can be compassionate without constantly compromising, and you can maintain healthy relationships without abandoning your own needs. As Virgo season begins later in August, the energy becomes more introspective. You may feel drawn towards solitude, reflection, meditation, journaling, or simply spending more time away from outside noise. Use this quieter period to recognize patterns you've outgrown and release emotional baggage you don't want to carry into your next personal cycle. Your message for August is simple: stop creating peace around you at the expense of peace within you. The more honest you become about what you need, the easier it becomes to build relationships and a future that genuinely reflect who you are. The first third of August favors networking, collaboration, social opportunities, and long-term planning. Reach out to professional contacts, attend events, reconnect with friends, and let people know what you're working toward. An important opportunity could arrive through someone already within or newly entering your network. The middle of the month brings greater clarity around romance, creativity, friendships, and personal happiness. Pay attention to relationship developments and to anything that reveals what, or who, deserves more of your energy. The final third of August, as Virgo season begins, is better suited to reflection and preparation. Finish unfinished business. Organize your finances and responsibilities, rest when needed, and avoid forcing situations that aren't ready to move forward. August begins with connection and expansion and ends with reflection and release. Use both wisely, Libra. What you clear away now creates room for the fresh start waiting when your own season begins in September. Libra, August 2026 is a month of connection, clarity, and becoming more selective about where you invest your energy. New professional opportunities may emerge through networking and collaboration, while your personal relationships encourage you to take a closer look at balance, reciprocity, and what you truly need from the people closest to you. Remember that maintaining harmony doesn't mean sacrificing yourself. Whether you're negotiating your value at work, setting a boundary with someone you love, or deciding which relationships belong in your future, your needs deserve a place at the table too. As Virgo season begins, allow yourself to slow down. Finish unfinished business, release what you've outgrown, and give yourself time to prepare for the fresh personal cycle that arrives with Libra season in September. Remember, astrology doesn't determine your destiny. It highlights the energies and opportunities surrounding you, but what you choose to do with them is entirely up to you. If you enjoyed this Libra August 2026 horoscope, please like this video, subscribe to Celestial Zodiac, and ring the notification bell for more monthly horoscopes, weekly forecasts, compatibility readings, and astrology insights. Thank you so much for watching. Libra, trust your relationships, but trust yourself too. Until next time, take care and may the stars guide your path.